Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tulo Hoyan. It was with a sense of disappointment that I listened to an interview this morning, carried on 702, about involving Senior Counsel Advocate Motau and the reasons for his resignation from the Matanga Commission. Although Advocate Motau sort of dilly-dallied when he was being questioned around the reasons why he had quit the commission, the bottom line is that Advocate Motau has quit the Matanga Commission because he was just not satisfied with the money that is being paid there. Although he did not put it in such blunt terms. But he alluded to the fact that, looking at the budget of the commission, something like 147 million has been budgeted for that commission to do its work. Advocate Motau said that was just too little. So that is the real reason why Advocate Motau has resigned from the Matanga Commission. He also, to a certain extent also lamented the fact that, commissions of inquiry have come to nothing, or have yielded no positive results in this country. Because looking at, commissions of inquiry like the Zondo Commission, there have not been, anything positive coming out of there by way of prosecuting those people who have been found to have been involved in some wrongdoing or another. So that's another reason which he found a bit disturbing. But he was at pains to say that, he's not casting aspersions on those that are going to remain behind, and that he was, fully confident that the commission would, achieve its objectives and that its work was very important. But it was a resignation which was the focus of that interview and which is the focus of this video. The one surprising thing about this resignation, which looked to some of us to be very sudden, is that Advocate Motau says in that interview that as far back as the 11th of September, he had signaled his intention to quit the commission. And he had signaled his intention to quit the commission to Justice Matanga himself, the chairman of the commission. But he then goes on to say there was some dilly-dallying about this or some toing and froing about the issue, such that the final decision was never taken. So he simply just went on and, out of the blue, surprised the whole of South Africa and just, quit at the end of last week. But I'm rather disappointed at, the explanation that Advocate Motau gave, because Advocate Motau says, the initiative to start this commission is a very noble and laudable one. And, he sort of tries to play down the money side of things. But that's the only thing you can read you can take away from that interview, is that he was just not satisfied with the money. But let us get back to the date of the 11th of September. If Advocate Motau has signaled as far back as the 11th of September his unwillingness to continue as the evidence leader in the commission, why the commission then bothered all to have him on board when he had already, at that very early stage, signaled, that he would not go ahead with that appointment? So the commission has to give some explanations here, because they were aware that he was not satisfied with this position, and no sooner had he started doing his work, right in the very first week, he jumped ship the very first week. So I think here we have to blame the commission together with Advocate Motau, because if as far back as the 11th of September, he had signaled his unwillingness his unwillingness to continue with that work, he would never have even started to lead any evidence at all, because leaving, under these circumstances, sort of leaves the commission in limbo. although there are very many other able, senior counsels who have sort of taken up the mantle and are continuing the job, just as well. So that is the resignation of Advocate Motau. I would have thought that a man in his position would not have taken that job in the first place, if that is the reason, because he took up this job, I'm sure, knowing what it entailed. I mean, how do you take a job and then a week into the job resign because, allegedly because, the money budgeted for the commission is not enough? You should have known this from the very beginning so that when you signed up, to undertake work for the commission, you must have been aware of some of these things. It's not as if, somewhere you are never made aware of what was involved here financially and you sort of, out of the blue, get to know about what is involved financially along the way. So that is how the resignation was explained by Advocate Motau himself. And we thank him for that because it sort of, lays to rest a lot of speculation whether it was for security reasons or whether he was pressurized into resigning. It would appear that the man just was not happy with the sort of remuneration that he was going to get there. And I think, what are the evidence leaders getting? The evidence leaders are getting something like 7.2 million. They will each get 7.2 million in the next 3 months or so. So perhaps for somebody like, senior counsel like Motau, that is just short, that is just petty cash. It's petty cash really, because he has jumped ship for something better or some other better things, given his status. Having said that, let me thank you for watching this video. Let me thank you for all the views and subscriptions that I'm seeing. And have a wonderful day until we meet in the next video. Thank you.